Okay, we're going to be going over the disassembly of the M60 machine gun. This is a Rock Island Armory M60 set up in standard ground gun configuration. First thing you want to do is just ensure that the gun is clear. You want to pop your feed tray cover open. That's done with the latch right on the side. Just rotate, pops right up, stay in place. Back our bolt, feed tray up, chamber's clear. You want to ride the bolt home. Very important that you remember to send the bolt back home. First thing we want to remove here is the buttstock assembly, and that's held in place with this retaining clip or pin. Show you that there. You'll see in the top of the channel there's a groove. You can see that where it sits and just slides right in, slides right out. And that's what holds your entire buttstock assembly in place. So we want to slide that pin out, carefully just slide the buttstock off. There's going to be some spring pressure on here. Inside our buttstock is where we have our buffer. To remove the buffer, you just want to kind of rotate it and kind of shake a little bit. If you can see inside the back of the buttstock, that circle there, that's what holds our buffer in place. So buttstock's off, buffer's out. The next step, we want to remove the bolt and op rod assembly. You want to ensure that the gun's not unsafe. If the gun is unsafe, this isn't going to come to the rear. So first we'll grab our charging handle there, make sure the gun is off safe. Just gently start sliding that there. Once it starts coming, you'll see your drive rod and drive rod spring come out the back. That just slides right out. Your drive rod, that just goes right into the back of our drive rod spring, and the spring feeds right into the back of the op rod. Again, we're going to grab our charging handle and we're going to gently slide our bolt and our op rod to the rear to remove it out the back of the gun. You want to do this slowly because there's some tension on the bolt here. The bolt sits in the gun sideways and it's riding on the post of the op rod. And when you pull this out, there's spring tension on it and it's going to want to snap back in place. So we'll just kind of gently slide this out. There, we have our op rod and bolt. The bolt sits right on the post of this op rod, and as the gun functions, it kind of rotates here, and there's a spring in the back. So to remove this, again, we want to rotate it forward gently, and it'll snap off. Bolt, op rod. Okay. Now we have our bolt and our op rod removed. We can remove our barrel. Obviously the barrel can be removed with the bolt and op rod in the gun, but you don't want to do that with the bolt and op rod forward because the bolt is actually going to be rotated into the chamber of the barrel and you're not going to be able to remove this. So to remove the barrel assembly, we have our quick detach latch. It's right here. There's a button. You push in with your thumb and this will flip up. Just like that. And you just disengaged the barrel assembly. So now the barrel assembly should slide right out of the gun. Okay, barrel assembly's out. Now we'll remove our handguard. If you look at the bottom of the handguard, you're going to need a basic cleaning rod to do this. The bottom of the handguard, you're going to see a small circle in the back, and what that is a detach lever there. You just need to put some pressure on that with your cleaning rod while at the same time kind of pulling it off. And you'll feel it just kind of go. Slide right out. It's our handguard assembly. And that clips on to the bottom here of this pin that's on the gas tube of the gun. Okay, next we're going to remove our trigger assembly. On the right side of the gun, you'll see this latch, and that's a retaining latch or clip that holds your trigger assembly on. To remove that, and you want to do this carefully, you'll see this gun has some scuff marks on it right here, and this is from previous owners, from removing this, gouging it with a cleaning rod. But this can be a little tricky. You want to just kind of get your cleaning rod on the bottom of the latch and just put a little pressure on it, and it'll pop off the back. Once it's off the back, it'll slide right off the front pin. Once that latch is off, the front pin just pushes out, just a little pressure, comes out of the gun. After you have your pin removed, the front will swing down, it'll come right out. You'll see the back of the trigger assembly. There's a notch in the bottom of the gun that it kind of holds it in place. Alright, now we just have to remove our feed tray cover. You have your pin here. Again, I'll show you how this works. There's your detach latch. Same thing with closing it. It all swings on this pin, which is, there's a hinge there for the gun. Again, a cleaning rod is all you need. A little pressure on one end of the pin. This is a two-piece pin. And you'll see this comes right out of the back. Now we still have a pin in the gun here that needs to be removed. And this is designed, again, use a cleaning rod. Not going to do any damage to the gun. Small hammer. You just want to tap that pin out. Again, you can see where it's coming out here. Second half of the pin is out. Your feed tray cover will slide right off. There we have our return spring, feed tray cover return spring. Feed tray, that's it for taking it off. Have our internals, feed cam, got our feed paws. The feed tray is just sitting right on top of the gun. That's held in with the same pin that holds your feed tray cover on. They swing on that pin the same way. So that just pulls right off. Feed tray cover is off. I do have a Mark 43 or M60 E4 feed hanger on here. I usually keep the gun set up in Mark 43, which I have the kit for it, but this would be the original feed hanger, and that just hooks right onto your feed tray. Comes off the same way. This gun does break down further, but this would be your basic breakdown that you would want to do after firing, just for cleaning purposes. Your charging handle's fairly easy to remove as well. There's a single screw on the side of the channel. That screw comes off, charging handle goes back, comes right out of the gun. And that's it. That's the basic breakdown of the M60 machine gun.